Hi everyone, welcome to happymandarin.com, and today is our first lesson ever. We are going to be learning about the 4 tones in pronunciation, as well as how to say hello and thank you. So, before I start, I must say something, which is that Chinese really isn't as hard as you think. In fact, I think it's much easier than other languages because there is no verb verb conjugation. All the verbs are the same, and the only slightly difficult part is memorizing how to write the words. But technically that's not really hard either anymore because nowadays people type everything, so you just have to be able to recognize the words. So now on to the first tone, which is the flat tone. And for example, let me apply this to the English word I. So if we do it on the first tone, it would be I, repeat, I. This is actually a Chinese word. Okay, now the second tone, which is even easier because all you have to do is pretend like you're asking a question. It sounds like this. I. Try repeating it. I. Okay, and the third tone, it's shaped like a check mark, which technically means you lower and raise your voice. Listen carefully. This one's usually a little bit harder for foreigners to say, but with practice, I think you should get it. I. Okay, I said that way too many times. That means short in Chinese, but that's not the point right now. Just know how to apply the third tone to the word I. And the fourth tone, which is another easy one, is pretty much just saying a word firmly. And it would sound like this. I. Repeat, I. Okay, so to recap, here are the 4 tones for the word I. It's I. Try it again. I. So really quickly, instead of applying it to the word I, let's try to apply it to the word K-N-E-E, knee. So the first tone, the flat tone, would be knee. Repeat please. Knee. The second tone is the slanted upwards tone, and it is written like how you write the accent mark in Spanish, sorry, and it is ni. The third tone is the check mark, which is pronounced ni, and this actually means you in Chinese. So ni. And finally, the last one, the fourth tone, the slanted down one, is ni. By the way, ni is also a Chinese word, so make sure that when you're saying the word you, you're doing it on the third tone, ni. So now we're actually well on our way to saying hello in Chinese because it literally means you good. So now we just have to learn how to say good, which is spelled H-A-O in Chinese, and it can make the following pronunciation tones. How, 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 how. How, how, how. As you know, as you can hear, AO can make ow, 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 or ow. H just sounds like it does in English. So again, how, how, how. The last one, not the last one, what am I doing? The third one, how, means good. So, how, repeat again, how. And so, in logic, if you were to say hello, you would say ni on the third tone and how on the third tone as well. However, Chinese people think this is kind of hard to say, so instead of ni, hao, which are both on the third tone, they made ni go on the second tone, which is ni instead of ni. So it becomes ni hao, ni hao. Note how this is different from ni hao. So say it again, ni hao, ni hao. I often hear people saying ni hao. This is wrong. You kind of, when you say AO, you want to kind of round your mouth. Ni hao, ni hao, ni hao. Okay, so now we have finally learned how to say hello. Now on to saying thank you, which is spelled X-I-E, So you do say the same word twice. X in Chinese makes the C sound, and I makes the E sound, as we learned, because ni, which was K-N-E-E, but when we changed it to ni, it's spelled N-I. So in in Chinese, the K-N-E-E is spelled like N-I, because the letter I makes the E sound. So we have X-I, and now we have to make the E sound. The E sound, like letter E, is E. So to sound it out, you would get C-E-E, and you can make the following pronunciations. Xie, 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 xie. The second, third, and fourth tones are all Chinese words. So, which one of them is thanks? Okay, you don't know that, so I just asked you. It's the fourth one, or, well, you may have known if you've taken Chinese before. But basically, it's the fourth tone, which is xie. Xie. So, to say it quicker, xie xie. That's how you say thank you. Be careful. The X makes the C sound, like in CC's Pizza, as I said. A lot of people say xie xie, which is wrong because there is no SH sound. Again, it is xie xie. So to recap, hello is ni hao, and thank you is xie xie. And one last thing to say is that in Chinese, a bunch of stuff is implied, so we never say ni hao followed by someone's name, and we also never say xie xie followed by someone's name. Because if you're looking at them, you're obviously addressing them, and they know you're saying hello or thank you to them. In fact, saying xie xie, someone's name, is wrong because it would actually be what a parent would say to a kid, like if another adult gave a present to a kid and the kid took it, and the parent might say, oh, you need to thank this teacher. So they would be like, 谢谢李老师, you need to thank Mrs. Lee. It would not mean thank you, Miss Lee. It's actually it's more of a command telling the kid to say thank you to Miss Lee. And obviously, like you probably already know, every rule has an exception, or most rules have exceptions. So, although most of the time it is wrong to say 谢谢 followed by someone's name, little kids like after karate class to be like uber formal, they might like do their hand action and be like, you know, the one where you punch your palm, like fist to a palm, and then 谢谢李老师 or 谢谢王老师. Oh, that means like thank you, teacher Wang, or thank you, teacher Lee. There are those cases, but for the most part, it's just a little too formal. No one actually says that a lot. So thank you for listening to me. I think that is about it. I know the lesson's kind of boring. I hope next week will be better because I might be joined by one of my friends and we can do a dialogue for you. So 谢谢 again, and we hope you come back next week. Bye!